واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قول من رب رحيم وامتاذوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد ضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكسه في الخلق فلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إننا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم ير الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشاها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد فاتحة कामयाब करें इंशाल्लाह या अली صلوا على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وظل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء. يا نور يا قدوس، يا نور يا قدوس، يا نور يا قدوس، يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء. اللهم اغفر لي كل ضم أذنبته وكل خطية أخطأتها. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك وأن توزعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك. اللهم إني أسألك السؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم وأسألك السؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائحي ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فادح من البلاء يقلته وكم من عثار وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته. اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي وقصرت بي عمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعد أملي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بجنايتها ومطالي. يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك ألا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي، ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري، ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لي غيرك، أسأله كشف الضر والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي، فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء، فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدودك وخالفت بعض أوامرك، فلك الحجة علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك، وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك. وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا، لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخال في إدخالك إياي في سعة رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شدي وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي. يا من بدا خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هبني لابتداء كرمك وسالف برك بي. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك وبعد ما انطوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك، وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته أو تباعد من أدنيته أو تشرد من ناويته أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدا وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا وبشكرك مادحا وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة: ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب. وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه، قليل مكثوه، يسير مقاؤه، قصير مدته، فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين، يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو ولما منها ضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته، فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك، وهبني صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك، أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجاء عفوك، فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولا أصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولا أبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولا أنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين. غاية آمال العارفين يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك، أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك، أم كيف يحرقه لهيب يجيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه ذفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رب؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات هيهات، ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، جعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملاها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأن تجل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل عملته، كتمته أو علنته، أخفيته أو أظهرته، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلته أو إحسان فضلته أو بر نشرته أو رزق بسطته أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا رب، أسألك بحقك وقدسك وعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة وبخدمتك موصولة وعامالي عندك مقبولة، حتى تكون عامالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي، يا ربي يا ربي يا يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قوي على خدمتك جوارحي واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في المبادرين واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادنا بسوء فأرد ومن كادنا فكد واجعلنا من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخصهم ظلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك واعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وأقلني عثرتي واغفر ذلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من عادائي يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا سابغ النعم يا دافع النقام يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بنا ما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. فاتحة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, dear brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we've gathered here on another Thursday evening. It's a pleasure to see you all, alhamdulillah. We've started this beautiful gathering today with the recitation of Surah Yasin and the recitation of Dua Kumail. And then inshallah we will have, from the many beneficial talks that we've had in the past, we will have a very respectable Maulana Shaykh Shafiq Hudda today with us, addressing this short majlis, this beneficial majlis inshallah. The reason I have mentioned because the thing is, due to the time movement of the Maghrib becoming earlier and early, unfortunate for us that we are having this brief time. But inshallah, as we have Maghrib moving towards that, we will have more ample time inshallah as well. Allah salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So with your permission, just a few announcements inshallah that firstly, there's one of the events that is coming up is inshallah the 25th of Dhul Qa'dah, which is also known as the Dahwul Ardh. And khair, inshallah, there's a lot of significance that the Aimah have pointed out towards it. One of the important things that the Aimah have prescribed and the Prophet has prescribed for this day is to fast, where they have recommended the fast of this day alone is equal to worth of 60 years of fasting, of worship. So inshallah we can all benefit from that. The other announcement is that there is an eclipse that will be observed, a solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse that will be observed on Monday, this Monday on August 21st. And the time of the eclipse is from 1:10 p.m. until 3:49 p.m. Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. 1:10 p.m. until 3:49 p.m. So as we know that the Salatul Ayat, the prayer of Ayat will be wajib on all of us inshallah during that time. And this is a wajib that if you weren't able to pray during that time, you still have to do the qada for this salat. The details for this have been sent out to the community along with the method of praying inshallah. And they can always refer to us, and the respectable Shaykh is over here. He can also guide you all if you have any questions regarding the salat. Another announcement, as I usually make, is Salatul Jummah that will take place over here at the IHS tomorrow at 1:30 inshallah, led by Shaykh Shafiq Hudda himself. Allah salawat on Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So the other announcement is regarding the upcoming Muharram events that we have, where we are commemorating the Shahada of the grandson, the blessed grandson of the beloved Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and along with him the martyrdom of his ashab, of his family, of his aqraba, and the event of Taf. So this year we will be having Sheikh Muhammad Ali Ismail, who will be coming from Peterborough, from UK. And just to go over it shortly, inshallah, we will be talking over it in the coming nights as well, that he graduated in law. He went to from there, and he studied in Hawza for 10 years. So he'll be here from out of town, and he had a preference of staying in the community in a hotel apartment, and the committee has tried to accommodate to his requests. However, obviously that cost will be reflected in the budget for that Muharram that is set aside for Muharram events. So inshallah we will be calling out starting from today on these Thursday events, and inshallah all those gatherings that we will have regarding the fundraising for this Muharram, and in addition to that all other events that happen throughout the year. So inshallah, the other thing is that this brother is coming from out of town, so he will also be moving around. The community is also looking forward to volunteers helping to accommodate to brother if he has some needs to move around the city or other parts in Ontario. So inshallah, if there's volunteer, they can come. They can let us know. Inshallah. Allah salawat on Muhammad wa Muhammad. And without any further delay, from all the beneficial talks as I have said, we'll have, without any further delay, Maulana Shaykh Shafiq Hudda addressing today's majlis. Allah salawat on Muhammad wa Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala I don't want you to say that. Because I know what I'll do.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
الفاتحة. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين خالق السماوات والأرض، إلها واحدا أحدا صمدا لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين رحمة للعالمين طه وياسين بالقاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتجبين، ورحمة الله على محبيهم ولعنة الله على أعدائهم وقاتليهم وغاصب حقوق حقهم ومنكر فضائلهم أجمعين من يومنا هذا إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتبارك في كتابه الحكيم وفرقانه المجيد وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم. صلوات محمد. Respected sisters and brothers, my youngsters, my elders, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullah. I was planning on continuing our discussion from the previous week, but I think that I will, because of Dahwul Ardh and the celebration that it entails, and I wanted to speak about something quite important about that. I will, inshallah, keep that part of our discussion on hold and inshallah come into this and then carry forward whenever we have another opportune moment to go on the lives and the lessons from the Anbiya. What we find is the event of Dahwul Ardh, which means the spreading of the earth, is first of all symbolic in one way and literal in another way. Over the years and over the decades, and I can say over the centuries, there has been a bit of a confrontation, almost a contradiction, and discussion, phenomenal discussion, on the compatibility of religion with science. Now, I don't want to say modern science simply because in the 1800s, what science was their modern science. In the 1900s, their modern science was modern science. We think we have got modern science now, and we are looking and laughing at those people saying that their science was not modern, and those people were probably looking at the 1800s and saying their science was not modern. And this chain goes right on for thousands of, I'm sure thousands of years. That every era, every community, every century believes, rightly so, that their science and their advancement is the most modern. Now, this goes on to the fact that the scientists today have said the advancement in these last 50 to 60 years have been greater, higher, bigger than the advancement of the entire human recorded history combined. So this is an opinion that is expressed. It's not. I'm not going to state it as a fact simply because it depends on what you and how you define advancement and modernization, modernity itself. We think that because we have telephones, we have cell phones, we have TVs, we have satellites, we've advanced. But if you go back over the millennia and you discuss and you ask the people what made their lives easier, because we are seeing these as tools that have made our lives easier. And we sometimes, we like to fool ourselves. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but it's a reality. This reminded me of a story that I used to, I've read about. It said that, there was this group of sailors. They used to go, of course, sailing, and they used to go for their businesses and what have you. So they were going on just an expedition, and this one sailor, he had a habit, he would take his pet monkey everywhere. And he would take his monkey everywhere. So he was, quite happy about this and that. So as the ship was going, there was a sudden storm. And storms are a part of sea life. Those who know about it, alhamdulillah, or I should say alhamdulillah. Last week we had a tornado here as well, and a solar eclipse. So we've got two namaz ayats. Remember that. The only difference is, as my dear Sayyid mentioned, and may Allah bless you, you actually make my life a lot easier by explaining the masail, and I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that, because it then requires me not to have to explain so many things, and basically like the finishing touches on the icing on the cake. He's made the cake, and so my job becomes a lot easier. In the time of the lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, the Salatul Ayat must be recited during that. This does not apply to an earthquake, tornado, hurricane, those kinds of storms, obviously, okay? I'm sure you can see the logic behind that. But anyways, so as these group of sailors were going, there was a sudden big storm, and the boat capsized. And the sailors basically died there, but the monkey survived. And this monkey survived because in the water, a dolphin came along. And the dolphin actually picked up the monkey and started going towards an island, towards shore. And as they reached there, the dolphin, now there's communication because these are moral stories, so there's, don't go into the nitty-gritty as to how, why, where, what. And the dolphin asked, he says that, are you familiar with this island? So the monkey, being the monkey, he says, of course, the brother of the king of this island, I know him very well. So the dolphin says, mashallah, the dolphin knew that there's nobody else on this island. So the dolphin then drops the monkey there. He says, okay, mashallah, now you are the king of this island. The monkey goes, how? Because there's no other human life on here. There's no other life on here. There's nothing else. So you are now the king because there's no other king or king's friend or the king's brother or whatever. So you're in charge of this island. Khudafiz, I'm out of here. So the monkey then realized that, to tell those lies is not a very smart thing. To be boastful or to think of yourself to be too superior is not a very wise thing. So we always like to think that our era is the most advanced. If you go back, and I was reading, of course, those of you who know me, I love reading history and especially biographies. And the pharaohs of the time, the kings of the ancient eras, the Greeks and the Romans and all those eras. And if you look at the famous thinkers, philosophers like Ptolemy and Plato and all those, there was something that was interesting because they were always happy, pleased with their own eras. And the Egyptians, the kings and the pharaohs always felt that this is such an era because they had people fanning. Like today we're saying that we cannot survive without air conditioning. MashaAllah, may Allah bless Abu Ali and his team for the fans and everything. We've had really, MashaAllah, good mild weather, but mild weather also means that the winter will be very severe. So there will always be a price to pay for everything that's convenient. So I'm sure people have understood that in the meantime. Okay. So basically what we find is that they will say that their era was the best. They had people fanning them. They had people, giving them cool air, giving them baths, giving them this, giving them that. So in each era, there is those who felt that their era was the best. Their era was the best. So I want to come back to that because, as I said, mashallah, Maghrib is earlier, and I actually prefer short and sweet majlises because that's what not only mu'mineen like, but that doesn't, the short part, not the sweet part. One salawat of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. If you remember a couple of months ago, I talked about a good speaker will not take more than 20 minutes because that's the attention span of an average adult, okay? So I try to, as much as possible, keep within that scope. Okay, I'd take 10 minutes extra, but that's because I'm testing your sabr and your patience from that 20-minute attention span. Anyway, so every year has that. I want to come back to Dahwul Ardh. What it means is that the spreading of the earth. Now, what does it mean? What I was saying earlier, that there's a symbolic meaning and a literal meaning. There is the reason, or one of the reasons why there was this contradiction or this confrontation between religion and science was because religion had come with an idea or a theory. And if you look at the biblical perspective will tell you that everything happened in a matter of a snap of a finger. And so in 6 days, God created everything. And on the seventh day, he rested. He got tired as well. That's what they say. That's why it's Sunday. Nothing is allowed to be done. Usually, those who are churchgoers will not do anything on Sundays. Our Jewish brothers, they will not do anything on Saturday, the Sabbath day, because again, the same idea. God created everything in 6 days. That seventh day, which is for them the Saturday, He rested. We have a little different perspective. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha nudiya lis-salati min yawmil jumu'ati fas'aw ila dhikrillahi wa dharul bay'a. The ayah, of course, the surah then goes on to say, after the salat is over, فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, go out into the earth. And there's, of course, seek out the sustenance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu khairur raziqin. In the end, it's very clear. Okay, so we have slightly different idea. But now I want to come back to what it means. 6 days. Because immediately the idea in the church, and if you go and talk to a priest, a bishop, a minister, which I have done many occasions, I always ask them, I said, okay, explain to me, how did God create everything in 6 days? Explain to me 6 days. Sit ayyam. And they will say, well, 24 hours times 6, Brother Shafiq, you multiply yourself. Why are you telling us to do it? So you take your calculator, you multiply, and you get a figure. And now that means that God made everything in those 24 times 6. Right? You're with me, I hope. Right? Now, if you think for a moment, if I want to build a small shed, I want to build a small building like this, small. Well, I'm saying 4,000 square feet is small compared to what we've got in this earth. How long will it take me? A week? A month? How many people will I get, depending on how many people I have, will determine how long it will take me to make it. Okay. We've been talking to a lot of construction people about our project, and we said, 18 months, 2 years. I'm saying, what? How? 18 months to 2 years? I mean, how long does it take to put a few bricks up on 21,000 square feet? They said, it's not that easy, Mr. Shafiq. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to dig. I said, okay. So my salams on God, He created all that in 6 days. Wow. We're being told that a small building will take us 2 years. And God did everything in 6 days. Allahu Akbar. So now, what does the Quranic perspective say? Sitta ayyam, 6 days. Sitta ayyam. My Arabic brothers will be able to clarify this for me. But the issue is, the word ayyam, which is the plural of yawm, has got a very distinct flavor to it. Yawm, that we use colloquially as speaking terms, means day. When we think of day, we think of a 24-hour period from 12 o'clock to 11:59 and 59 seconds. That is a day. Now, when did that day come about? Well, you see the sunrise, you see the sunset, and that is how the day was determined. But now, when God created the universe, we are judging the day from sunrise to sunset. But if the sun hasn't been created and there's no issue of setting the sun, then how do you determine a 24-hour day? How do you determine a 24-hour day? So the Quran gave us a very unique perspective. It talked about day in one concept of day is, yes, it's 24-hour when the sun rises and sets. If the sun has been created, then how do you define day? Then it talks about Yawm al-Qiyamah. Yawm al-Qiyamah, 50,000. 50,000. 50,000 years. One day, Yawm al-Qiyamah. We ask Allah, Rabbana gfir li wa li walidayya wa lil mu'minina yawma yaqumu al-hisab, the day of hisab. Now, if you can imagine for a moment, if that Yawm al-Hisab, Yawma yaqumu al-Hisab was 24 hours, maybe only 1 or 2 people might get through that hisab. So it's not 24 hours. The Quran talks about 50,000. So that's 50,000 years. 50,000 of yours is one day of Qiyamah. So day is not 24 hours in the Quranic perspective, but it has a different meaning. And then we see that, when it talks about the creation itself, and it says about Yom, the Yom has got a completely different meaning, which is what we will call in scientific terminology or in mathematical terminology, there is something called the undefined. You have got something, you are all experts, you people are university students and graduates. You have something that is called undefined. Because definitions can only come about when you've got the substance known, and those knowns are able to explain or come to the conclusion. So if you have a series of unknowns, then the ultimate conclusion is undefined. So what we find here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks about the creation or He talks about the day, He talks about Yom, it has got a number of different meanings. And so what we have found now here is there is a gradual exposition of the universe unfolding. The universe unfolds in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed. So unlike the biblical or the Jewish perspective, whereby God in 6 days, basically snapped His fingers and everything was created, and everything was expanding, ongoing from that time till now and ongoing for the foreseeable future. What we find is that this contradicts science. That how can in 6 days, you've got the creation of the mountains. How did the mountains form? How did the canyons form? How did the valleys form? Because I had given you a bit of homework last week, and I think only a few of you have probably remembered that, right? My homework was to tell me how the Grand Canyon was formed. You do remember, eh? Yaad hai na? And I'm sure you're nodding your head, so you're probably the only one who's done your homework. And so I won't get into that, and I'm not going to ask for any answers. But you will find that the river, if I'm not mistaken, was the Colorado River, took a number of years. No, not a number of years. Thousands of years. No, not thousands of years. Tens of thousands of years. No, not tens of thousands of years. It said over 1,000,000 years that river went on to form the Grand Canyon, the miles and miles of canyons that you've got outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Those mountains, the canyons were formed over millions of years. A river formed that over millions of years. So there was no hurry in creating the whole universe in 6 days, 6 of our days. I keep reminding you. Not sita ayyam as in 24 hours, 24 sa'at, but it means ayyam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The plural of yom is ayyam. So in Allah's time, so one day could be 1,000,000 years. One day, Qiyamah could be 50,000 years. One day for us is 24 hours. One day on Mars or Jupiter, you see what I'm saying? We only look at it from our perspective. We only think that we are the only ones that matter and exist. That's not like that. The whole universe does not center around insan. It does not center around the human being. There's lots of other factors and issues. So what we wanted to come back to was that the one river that created the Grand Canyon took millions of years. The whole unfolding, so Dahwul Ardh, when it talks about Dahwul Ardh, it is talking about the creation or the spreading of the earth over time. So whatever theory, there are a number of scientific theories that have talked about, spoken about, or have tried to allude to how the creation of the world started. The difference between science is that they say that something came out of nothing and that's how the whole universe was formed. The Muslim will say, or the believer in theism, the believer in God will say that God is the one who caused that initial spark to come into being from nothing. Because He is the only one who can create something from nothing. We can only create something from another thing. We have to have tools in order to create. We have to have the raw materials in order to build or to construct, without which we can do nothing at all. So this is where we find that science and Islam can be compatible. And that's why I said that at the beginning of the discussion today, I was talking about the compatibility or lack of compatibility between science and the biblical religiosity or the religious people. And so when religion tells you, be quiet and just believe, Islam does not tell us that. Islam tells us to research and to see what you find in those historical artifacts, in those fossils, in those artifacts that come around history, and they tell you. So it's not telling you to reject science, but at the same time, Islam is reminding us science is not the be-all and end-all of everything. Science will be changing. Medicine has been changing. All of the other, if you look at the subjects that have been taking place in the world, everything has been changing. So there has been no constant in the universe. There's change constantly, always. And so what doctors will have told you a generation ago will be different than what they tell you now. I was just yesterday, I was in a meeting, and afterwards I was deciding I wanted to give him something, to express my appreciation for spending the time with me and that. So I said, can I please buy you a box of mithai, of sweets, of shirini, halawat? And I said, I'll take it, you take it home, and your family will enjoy it. And he looks at me, he says, Sheikh, You want me to be honest? I don't want to hurt your feelings. I said, what? He says, no one's going to eat it. I said, really? Sweets? No one's going to eat it? What's wrong with you guys? I mean, I've lived on sweets. They said, no, no, no. We don't do this anymore. We don't want to get diabetes. And I was thinking back, the generation that I grew up in, we had fried samosas every day in Shahr Ramadan. Pakoras, you know, the fried, deep fried. I'm not talking about pan fried stuff. I'm talking about deep fried stuff. And we would have mithais, halawat, sweets, you know, shirini, in almost every day of Eid for those next 3, 4, 5 days. I mean, we would have more sweets than we'd have actual biryani or foods. And I was thinking that at that time, not many people had cancer, not that many people had diabetes, not that many people had blood pressure, not that many people had. Now what has happened? Things have changed. And as a result, people's diets now, people's lifestyles have changed. And so what the doctors used to tell you before, and doctors are present, so I don't want to take their job, will tell you something totally different today. And maybe 5 or 10 years from now, they'll tell you something totally different on how to treat and how to handle illnesses at that time. So what we were coming back to is Allah Ta'ala, and this is what I wanted my youngsters to at least appreciate and understand, is that there is a certain nizam that Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala has placed in effect. What it means is that Allah Ta'ala puts a chain. He has established what we call a nizam, a system. And that system will follow its own course. It is not like a snap of a finger that something will happen, that the creation will take place, that in fact it has been narrated. And please feel free to correct me. From the time that Allah Ta'ala created the body of Hazrat Adam, and the malaika were looking at that body of Adam, and the distance or the amount of time that took place between the body being created and Allah Ta'ala putting the ruh in Adam, scholars say it could have been 900 years. 900 years have transpired from the time the body of Adam was created until Allah Ta'ala put the ruh in Adam and created life in Adam. So you can imagine, you can say, Allahu Akbar. And then he spent 9 months in Jannah until the time came that he ate from the fruit and he came onto the earth, and you know that's a whole different subject altogether. But basically a system was put into place. Whether it's about the creation of the universe, the world, the earth, the mountains, the oceans, the whatever you want to see. And we see that our solar system has got so much to be explored. And this is where, if you look at the first khutbah of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam in Nahjul Balagha, and the Imam talks about the intricacies of the creation. And he talks about how the malaika were made, and how the earth was made, and how the mountains were formed, and how the rivers came about. And the Imam talks about all of that. And the Imam was giving the khutbah. Not one person could stand up and say, Ya Ali, how did you know how this all took place? Not one person could get up and say, Ya Ali, how are you aware of the creation? The creation took place millions, if not billions of years ago. You just came about now. Ya Ali. That means even the people themselves realize that Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, awwala ma khalaq Allah nuri. The very first thing Allah Ta'ala created was the nur of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ana wa aliyun min nurin wahid. Me and Ali were from the first nur, from the same nur. That nur saw the rest of creation take place. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So Islam will never contradict true science. Islam will never confront true science and say that, no, just believe, don't worry about what you have found, don't worry about what you have seen. Islam will actually go to complement that. Complement what has been transferred. You know, when you see, again, the biblical perspective, from the time of Adam to now, they say 47,000 years have passed. 47,000 years. From the first human being to today. Give or take a few decades or a few centuries, okay? 47,000 years. Now you find a human skull that is 1,000,000 years old. And you go to the priest, you go to the bishop, and you say, okay, here's a skull, a human skeleton, a human skull, that is 1,000,000 years old, and you're telling me Adam was 47,000 years. Now what happens? Now, not nowadays, but in the old days, this was somebody told me this. Somebody actually told me this, so I'm not telling you a hearsay. I'm telling you somebody who actually. He says the bishop slapped me on the face and said, "Shut up and believe." Ajib. Just be quiet and believe. Okay, forget this fossil. Look at the Bible. Finish. There is no discussion. There's no argument. There's no explaining. And if somebody comes to us and say, yes, from Adam alayhi salam to Khatam to today, 47,000 years have passed, and they bring a human skull to any Muslim who follows Ali Muhammad alayhi salam, who follows Ali Muhammad, and you see you've got a skeleton here that's 1,000,000 years old, you are telling me Adam is 47,000 years old, we will reply to them that Amirul Mu'mineen, Imamul Muttaqeen, Qatilil Kafirin had already replied that answer. When he was asked, he says, Ya Ali, who was before Adam? Imam replies, Adam. Mawla, who was before that Adam? Imam says, Adam. He says, who was before that? And Imam says, there were 70 Adams before your Adam. Your Adam is the last Adam, and then there will be Yawm al-Qiyamah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa alim. So that 1,000,000-year-old skull now makes sense. Because science didn't tell you that ignore it. And at the same time, fossil dating, making dates and figuring out the tarikh of this or that, has got some reality. It has wisdom. It has authenticity. And so what do you see? So Mawla has already told us, says, no, this whole thing has transpired. You know, when people talk about deja vu, and they say that, well, something has happened. Well, yes, you know, our ulama and the urafa have explained deja vu, that there's two aspects or two parts of it. One is that it could have been that somebody of your own caliber has already existed and passed through. Number two is your spirit was created before your body was. And so somewhere, somehow in the alam arwah, there was that happening, already taking place. Those meetings, those discussions, those issues may have already taken place. So all of a sudden you meet with somebody and you say, I know that person, but this is the first time you met him. They have never visited your country. You have never visited their country, and yet you feel like you know them like the back of your hand. And what happens? Well, there is some meaning or some value to that, inshallah. As I said, there's two issues that I know I'm trying to dig a bit of a well for myself, but these two areas we will, inshallah, be continuing onwards. As Sayyid mentioned, our salat time is earlier, so alhamdulillah, you get to listen to me much less than you normally would have. One salawat upon Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our amal and our ibadat on this Shab Jummah, on this Laylatul Jummah, one of the most blessed night in the Islamic week. We ask Allah ta'ala to forgive our sins, to give us the tawfiq and the strength to remain away from sins, and to act on the teachings of the Quran and Majid and the Ahlul Bayt. If I can ask all the mu'mineen together to recite 5 times Amma Yajibu for those who are ill, for Allah ta'ala to give them shifa, for our hajat to be accepted, for the hifazat of Imam Sahibul Amr, the safety and the security of the Imam, and the safety and the security of those who are suffering in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Eastern Hijaz, where there's been, especially in Awamiya and different places, severe tragedies, in Syria, in Palestine, in Lebanon, in Nigeria, in Bahrain, in Yemen, especially with the children suffering and being tortured in such horrendous ways. We ask Allah we will all recite together 5 times Amma Yajibu. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء اللهم صل على محمد. الفاتحة للأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والعلماء والشهداء. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. One more salawat upon Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. اللهم صل على محمد وآل
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Inshallah, brothers, just a reminder of the announcements that I had made earlier, that there's a total solar eclipse this Monday on August 21st. And inshallah, we'll be talking about the specific times, inshallah, later on. We will have the Ziyarat Waritha after the Salat, inshallah, to have ample time, and then we'll have the refreshments. Meanwhile, upon the request of respectable Sheikh Shafiq, and as he had mentioned, among the 4 big days, one is Dahwul Ardh, where Allah had spread this earth. Then that was the 17th of Rabiul Awwal, where this blessed Prophet was sent to this earth. Then the day of Mab'ath, that we celebrate, where he was openly preaching. And the last day was no one other than the Eid-e-Ghadir, the 18th of Zilhijj. And in the honor of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Asadullahi Ghalib, Ghalib ala kulli Ghalib, just a poetry, a poem in his honor. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. बेकसों के मददगार मौलाली जुज तेरे कोई अपना सहारा नहीं तेरा दर छोड़ कर जाए आखिर कहाँ गैर का दर जबी को गवारा नहीं बेकसों के मददगार मौलाली जुज तेरे कोई अपना सहारा नहीं आए काबे में जिस दम अली के कदम मुंह के बल गिर पड़े बुत ये कहते हुए आइए आइए जानशीन नबी ये तुम्हारा ही घर है हमारा वो तो कम ज़र्फ़ है जो तुझे छोड़ दे वरना मौला अली तेरी ताज़ीम को जो पलट करना आए वो सूरज नहीं जो न चौखट को चूमे वो तारा नहीं पहले तारीख खैबर की पढ़ लीजिए फिर कोई आखिरी फैसला दीजिए पहले तारीख खैबर की पढ़ लीजिए फिर कोई आखिरी फैसला कीजिए या ये कहना पैगंबर भी हैं बिदअती या ये कहना अली को पुकारा नहीं जाने खंदक में कैसे मुसलमान थे ताने कुफ्र चुप चाप सहते रहे जाने खंदक में कैसे मुसलमान थे ताने कुफ्र चुप चाप सहते रहे सबके पहलू में तलवार मौजूद थी अम्र का सर किसी ने उतारा नहीं बेकसों के मददगार मौला अली जुज तेरा कोई अपना सहारा नहीं सल्लु अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद Inshallah, with this ample time, about say 5 to 7 minutes till prayer. So inshallah, we'll be offering salat in its prime time with jama'at inshallah. So we'll be giving this time for brothers and sisters to do tajdeed if necessary. And my youngsters, I request them to inshallah play out the prayer mats. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.